Now, many Black business owners would actually tell you that they always seem to have faced fierce challenges and struggles. The experiences in the UK is like that, hurdles every which way you turn. But the current race relations climate, with that here right now, could there be a turning point? Could businesses utilize this situation for their benefit? Well, joining us this week, we've got a group of like-minded business people, and who may be able to answer that question for us, possibly. So let me introduce Donna Spence and Shaq, creators of Blackout Day. Hello. Hello there. Hi.
Donna's not here yet. Well, she's here, but she's just gone out. 1 second.
Has she gone for a wee break?
I didn't tell her a word. I'm not there.
A wee break. Also, we should have with us as well. We'll let her come in when she's ready.
Yeah.
Alden McCalla from the Federation of Small Businesses. Alden, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. I can see everybody.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you guys.
Excellent, excellent. Now, do we also have John Downie? So we're going to be having. I think Shaq just gone off to get Donna Spence. But we've just said, and if you heard the intro, did you hear the intro? I kind of moved this onto a kind of theme where we're talking about Black businesses in the climate, the struggles. Yeah, we all know about the struggles. We all know about the hurdles. But we're looking at what's happening now with the BLM movement and how to perhaps, using this phrase, utilize what's happening with that, for the benefit of whatever we're into, to try and get discussions going on and to try and promote whatever we're doing or push for what we want. Yeah. So having said that, Donna, there you are.
Hi.
Did you go paddle your nose?
I went paddling my nose. It's the wig, really, honey.
Lovely to see you.
You too.
I'm going to say, to kick off for the benefit of our viewers, a little bit about yourself. So, because only lady there, so I'm going to kick off with Donna Spence and Shaq D. Just tell us a bit about Blackout Day.
You want to go?
Yeah, you go. Ladies first.
So Blackout Day is on the 7th of July, and basically it's on that day we're supposed to be just looking after our own community, spend no money other than our own community. And from Sister Sadice said that if we spent £10, we take up 3% of the community in the UK, and if we spent £10 a week with if our community, that's like 1.9 billion. So Shaq and I have been probably for the last 5 to 8 years, consistently spending weekly in our community to make that happen. We go out of our way. And I think now is the time that people are now waking up and doing that. They're actually spending money, going out of their way to spend money. There's lots of Black businesses. We just need them to make sure they give us great customer service and deliver what they say they're going to do.
Okay, nice one. That's the intro for that one. Let's get to Johnny. John, talk to us about SABA, S-A-B-A, SABA. What does it stand for?
Society for the Advancement of Black Arts, now in the 20th year and going stronger than ever. And I support all the things that are happening. I do realize that, as a community, there's some issues that we have to deal with. I like the movement that's going on. And I'm here hopefully for another 20 years,
Amen.
Excellent. Alden McCalla, Federation of Small Businesses. Let's hear a bit more.
So firstly, just to change that, I'm actually a self-employed business consultant with a contract with the Federation of Small Businesses to push the membership of them. And personally for myself, I've been a self-employed business person for over 20 years, run some successful businesses. Once obviously a Black-owned small little business myself, that met these trials and tribulations, and now I consult small little businesses myself, a lot of them Black-owned, into moving away from the pitfalls and getting to where you need to get to.
And where you need to get to. So the first things to say, you've all said what you're into, what you're doing. So the first thing to be said, in the climate we're in now, how can we utilize that with our own individual sort of goals? Who wants to start off first?
Yeah, I'll speak.
All right, go on. No, go on. You go on.
I'll speak. Yeah, I think what is important is that obviously with what's happened, you see an uprising, and we've seen different people posting different videos with different days, with different dates, with the same sort of message, saying that we need to spend in our own community the power of our own money. And I think the most important thing is to keep that going. We've got dates, but we need to then come up with more dates. We need to come up with more initiatives, and just got to keep it going, because what will happen, or what's happened in the past, is that it'll be things like this just peter out, and then another 4 years, something happens, someone else dies or something like that, and there's a big uprising. So it needs to be a continuous thing.
I actually think that it's going to happen that way, because the millennials have taken over. The millennials have kicked in and gone, because I think the next day after this is like August. There's another date already booked in for August. So I think the millennials are going to make that difference. So I agree. I totally agree with what Shaq's saying.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then. Let's have you, John.
Yeah, well, I was going to jump in and say, it's a funny thing. You know, human nature is a funny thing, you know. I mean, if you look at experiences in America, and when they had the situation of, they call it like the Negro baseball league then at the time, and it was so strong before integration, yeah? And then when integration came and they accepted, you know, the greats like Jackie Robinson and so on into the mainstream leagues and so on, what happened was our people went to the mainstream, okay? So we have to realize that we need to support ourselves.
Yes.
And if we can continue to support ourselves and don't kind of worry about or don't look to, you know, what the mainstream are offering, come back to ours, whatever the situation. Because what I find is, you know, in my 20 years ups and downs doing stuff, you know, as I said, your skin folk aren't always your kinfolk, you know, and being black isn't just the thing. So as a business, we have to strive and give the customer services and you know, give the people what they want. And then the people have to bear in mind, you know, what is it that they actually want. So when another way of saying it, when we want to be at the master's table all the time, you know, we have our own table. Let's eat off our own table and do our thing. So we gotta kind of, it's the human nature thing, you know. It's a funny thing. It's not straightforward, but more power to us, and let's keep supporting our own.
Yeah.
Alden?
Yeah, I agree with both the sentiments that were said before me. I think that as small businesses ourselves, what we really need to do is we've got to step up ourselves and get more professional as businesses ourselves. I know that a lot of us are doing well, a lot of small businesses are doing well, but you know, we've got to deserve. We should spend money, obviously, within ourselves, of course, and boost ourselves. But we've got to push ourselves so we're better at what we do.
Yes.
And you know, become more efficient in what we do. If we get better, we cover our businesses better, and we push ourselves better and support, then we'll reach a lot further than what we reach. Because quite frankly, I mean, I work with the Federation of Small Businesses, and I've been into a lot of small businesses out there, and some are really cosmetically great-looking businesses. But when it comes to the underground, the legal, looking after yourself, what you know, have you signed the right lease with your landlord? Have you got your taxes sorted out? It crumbles. And to be frank with us, to bring businesses up, we've got to get ourselves more educated. We've got to work with more of our legal guys. Get with our legal guys and get our standards really, really high. So that when we go, we're not just going there to give our brothers and sisters a pound. We're going there because we're saying, yeah, this guy, he's got the best food. This guy, you know, does the best, you know, has the best laundry. This guy, you know, is the best mortgage broker out there. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword.
It is, and I understand that. And one of the key things I heard Donna say quite early on was about customer service. I got to tell you the truth. I've always been, you know, I've just been very angry about my people. When I step into a shop, I expect to be smiled at. Can I help you?
Thank you.
You know, because then the warmth's there already, and then you feel as if, you know, I'm welcome. I want to browse. I do want to come into this place. It's a very heartful. I'm not saying it's just our own people. I'm saying it's others as well. There's other people in the community, the Asian community and the English community that can have that horrible effect. But my own people, when I've walked into your store, going to buy your goods, yeah, I do expect one-on-one to have that.
Totally.
So I've got to tell you about something. I went into a store, clothes store in Harleston, as you know, they started to open now just last week. I didn't even know this lady was there. And I was taken aback. She was just so warm. She was so lovely. And she made myself and my daughters step into the shop. We were just at the window. And she came and she goes, no, come on, step in.
Right.
And, you know, just that alone, and we've gone in and we've purchased a couple of gowns from her. That alone, that is key. It's about learning your business. It's like learning your tax, learning everything you've just said, Alden. But it's also about the basics. It's about the smile, the warmth.
We can buy
as well.
We will buy anything. Give us customer service. I might go into a shop and just want to spend £5, but because of the customer service, I will spend 10, 20, 30 pounds, because it's all about that customer service. Give me a smile, make me feel welcome, and we'll be fine. What I find sometimes when another race walks into a black store, they will treat them with more kindness than they would treat us. And I have a problem with that. I've been told many times I can't say that on video, and I'm like, no, I'm going to. Some of the reasons why we stopped doing some of the videos and filming, because we've been doing that 4 or 5 years, is because of that. Because I was like, I can't put my name to something because people go by our names and you're not delivering a service.
But sometimes it was down to the fact that we tell them that we're coming to film their business and they're not ready, or they're not. You can't give us a time, and we're doing you a favor. We're doing you a service for nothing, and you just can't be there.
Yeah, there was a few of those. You told them you were coming, and they would say, "Yeah, turn up." Just it's all calm, and all this behaviour, and you're like, "No, but we're doing you a favour." After we've done the video, and they start hitting 48k hits, then they're coming back to you like, "Oh wow," and you're like, do you understand how powerful this is? And people are travelling from Manchester. You're going to be based in Brixton, say, and people are coming from Manchester. They're coming from all over to support. That's how powerful we are as a people. If only we just gave customer service, and exactly what Alden had said, make sure everything's in place. Get a good accountant. Make sure you can't do everything. You cannot do everything. Do what you're best at, and let somebody else do the rest of the work.
Indeed. Okay, John, I think you wanted to.
I can concur with what everyone is saying. You know, because as I said, I wouldn't be here 20 years if I wasn't doing the right things. And a lot of what you see in the corner there, we have the Cyber Charity Network. Yeah, up there. Yeah, and that's a network of organizations. We actually help fund and help start up small businesses.
Yes.
All right, and then there's so many times where we've got the funding for people. And the short-termism, you know, the lack of planning and the bad customer care, you know, I can say out of 100, 99 of them fail.
Yeah.
Over 20 years. And I'm not lying. You know what I mean? And it's something that we've been doing for 20 years. So as I'm saying, your skin folk aren't your kinfolk. It's not just your skin. It's what you have in here, what you have in your business that counts. So it's not because it's going to work. As everyone's saying, you got to have the planning, you got to have the customer care, do all the right things to make your business grow.
Yeah. It's all a combination of things. Alden, it is a combination of things, but we can, the young ones coming up now. They want to be entrepreneurs. They have ideas. Yeah. So again, it's setting a reel of things. It's not just one thing. It's a reel of things together, and this is important. So. Where can they go to? All
right. Here's what I love about the young people, right? Because UK Signed is the main project from Cyber Network into music, helping unsigned artists, etc. This generation now, I'm really proud of them because they haven't waited. Okay, if you go on, and this is no disrespect to my generation and whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes my generation may have dropped the ball. Because if I go on YouTube now and I look up the young artists, I will see the video, I will see all their socials, I can contact them. If I see those from my generation, I might hear the track, I can't see no video. I'm trying to call them. I tell you, you see here, the High Crec Awards, Hidden Creative Economy Awards, yeah? And it was to recognize.
Let's see it. I can't see it. Let me see it. Lift it up.
You can't lift it. I can't.
Hidden creative economy.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was an award. Sorry. Oh, that right.
No, it is. What it is this, right?
For that.
Okay. Hidden creative economy. It's to recognize the people in our community who've been in the creative industries without mainstream support or recognition. Okay. We've been doing it for 10 years. We had to scale it down because some of our people are so hard to reach. And once you get them, they think it's, I'm not knocking them, right? No. But what I'm saying is these youths now, I can contact any of them, no problem. And I think it's the culture. I think the youths now are just into a culture where they just make it happen. No excuses. Is this the way to do it? They just do it. Where maybe ours, because we didn't have a culture before us to say, right, set the platform, we kind of did it more on a hustle. But trust me, these youths now are on the music and the creative industries, they're on it. So enough respect to the youths, definitely.
I think we done that to them though. I think because we pushed the youths and said, no, look, don't do what we do, go for it. So that came from us. I have to say, I think that came from us.
For real. Alden, I was just going to say that the Federation of Small Businesses, that's a portal, isn't it? That's a port of call, if you will. That, you know.
Well, it is. I mean, one of the reasons why I work with Federation of Small Business, why I have a contract, why I push the membership with them, is because the membership actually works. I mean, we're talking about 45 years worth of an organization actually experimenting and actually working out what is right for businesses. Now, if you leave London and you go to some of the, let's use the word whitest areas. I'm not even going to. I'm talking about demographics. They're all members. They've all benefited by being members of the Federation of Small Businesses, saving their businesses, saving tax investigation protection when the tax man walks in the door. A dodgy landlord, he gets taken to court, and he's, and these are things that we don't really get. So that's the reason why I work with that organisation, to push that organisation onto guys like us, because we actually need that. That work's already done for us. Now, when it comes to the business side, which is the personal kind of nuances that we have as black businesses, which actually are different to other businesses, then that's a different story altogether. That's a different type of consultancy altogether. Because if I told you some of the horror stories that happened to guys like us out there, you just wouldn't believe it. I'll give you one story if you don't mind. There's a solicitor that works in Tottenham. Now, this is a Nigerian solicitor. Now, she called up the Federation of Businesses begging for help because basically she got injured. She got ill. She spent 6 months in hospital. Now, her landlord went on her hospital bed to get her last rent from her.
Wow.
The next month, he thought she was going to die. So he changed the locks on the door and completely gave a new lease to a new person. And she had to come out of hospital and call somebody because she was locked out of her own business. Now, this is in London.
Wow.
And she's a solicitor. We got her back into her place.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It makes sense.
No, there's lots of them. The thing is, there's lots of them. There's lots of it because we have the entrepreneurial spirit, but what we need is backbone. We need the legal stuff. I mean, there's people out there that they're not filing the taxes right.
Yeah.
It's not ignorance. Some people just don't understand it. They haven't got that education. And one of the biggest things with our businesses is being ripped off by so-called consultants. Guys see somebody, they've just got a loan from the bank. Oh, the website's $3,000. When it can get £500. And you'd be surprised the amount of money that's being handed over.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go for a short because we've got questions that we had asked our viewers from last week to pose for you guys. So we've got questions. So pose yourselves. You're on the hot seats to you guys. So we'll see you in a couple of ticks.
Okay, brilliant.
Thanks for coming back to us here on the Lifestyle Show. We're still here with our movers and shakers. We've got Donna, Spence and Shaq, Blackout. Tuesday. Oh shit, the Blackout. Is it the Blackout?
Blackout. I think it's Blackout.
Blackout.
I think it's Blackout Day.
It started with the Black Friday, when we had Black Friday 4 years ago, and I don't think that we Black people understood what Black Friday was all about. So we said we're going to turn it into a positive and say on that day we're going to go and shop black. We're not going to go into any local electrical shop and pick up a television for £200 that was apparently £400 the day before and get ripped off. So we tried to put a positive spin on it.
So Blackout Day is basically maybe just after payday, the first in the month after payday, Blackout Day.
It's the 7th of the 7th, so it's next week Tuesday.
For that one, but are you doing it monthly?
Well,
we're not actually the people behind Blackout Day. It came from America. We just happened to tag on from doing our Black Friday. Okay. So I've got my thing about it being on a Tuesday because I think that's the day of the week that does the less sales. That's why I think that was given to us. I don't think that we made that happen. Blackout Day is.
I'll tell you what, Donna, for me, 7th of the 7th reminds me of a certain incident in London.
Well, that's right.
Oh,
yeah. People have said that as well. Yeah. People have said that as well.
And my late father's birthday as well.
So you'll never forget that.
I can't forget that.
Okay. And Alden McCalla, consultant with the Federation of Small Businesses. So here's the first question. Courtney from Dunstable asks, what's needed in this country is more financial business support from banks and other lenders. We need to start lobbying government to set up some sort of a BAME business startup initiative. Alden.
I think it's obvious that is right, but the thing what we really need is the consultants, the people out there who've got the expertise to show you how to spend that money.
Yeah.
Because once you've got that money in your hands, you'd be surprised how much of it just goes, and the next year you've got nothing.
Exactly.
Because you've got no expertise on the way to spend it. And quite frankly, some people just want it for the sake of it, just to think that they've got it. Yeah. And then the funds go somewhere that's got nothing to do with the business whatsoever. Yeah. But it might seem like it's got something to do with the business. So without sounding negative, of course, get more funding. It's great. Get more funding, you can build more businesses. But it's got to be responsible business people. And I'm not talking about the most educated. I'm talking about the ones who are prepared to listen to somebody that's done it already or have the skills to do it themselves. Otherwise, that money is going to go through a dead hole, through a black hole. It's going to be gone.
He's right. Totally right.
Yeah, you know what I like about this conversation? We're being real and we're being honest, okay? It's not just about the money. As I said, supporting startups is what we do. The concept of the hidden creative economy, it hasn't just been about giving people awards. It's about giving people a start as well. And I can attest to what Alden is saying. Just having the money ain't it.
It's right.
Getting the expertise of budgeting and planning and forecasting and having a longer term vision of what you really want to do. So, the money is good, because the other thing as well is those with the ideas aren't always able to access the startup that they need. It is important, but it's not the only thing.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I think that, what I want to ask to probably Alden is, what if they take a loan, and a small business takes a loan, and like you said, the money goes quickly, and they don't. I think they've got about a year before they pay it back, don't they, or something?
Well, you're
what
talking about
the pay back?
The bounce back loan. All right, so the bounce back loan was an initiative was actually pushed by the Federation of Small Businesses, because the loan before that was called Sybil's, and the banks didn't want to pay it because the government only guaranteed 80%. So we lobbied government, and we got it so that every business person, even people just setting up their businesses, could raise up to get between £2,000 and £50,000 based on 25% of your profits throughout the year, or projected profits. Now, I can tell you, quite frankly, from now, that there's people out there that have got a lot more money than what they should have got.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And the thing is with that, you do get a year where you don't pay anything, and then you get 6 years where you pay 2.5%. So I'll give you a quick analogy. If you borrowed 4,000, you turn over 16,000, you borrowed 4,000, you'd pay £70, something like that, back every month for 6 years after 1 year. So if you push it up, then it's an attractive proposition. It's a very, very attractive proposition for businesses. Now, businesses are borrowing this money. Businesses are actually calling me saying, listen, what do you think I should get? And I'm saying, well, what do you need? I mean,
right.
What kind of question is that?
They're thinking about the red bottom shoes. That's what they're thinking about. And that's the problem.
Let me just get one more in, because you know we're running out of time now. This is quick, but I've got to get this in because somebody's seen your video, Donna or Shaq. Janice from Neasden, she's seen your video. And so in your video, you talk about the way Americans spend and that they spend it in their community, and the Jews and the Jews.
Yeah.
Says, I think the way Black people spend money over here could be very different to the way our American brothers and sisters do. I don't think we spend unnecessarily. And I think we rarely tend to buy the things we really need. Whereas I think African Americans are more likely to use and to spend big time.
Okay, so I'll do this one part of this. So having lived between here and America, when we follow America, so we buy just as much foolishness as they do. They buy absolute rubbish, and we do exactly the same. In fact, lockdown is really helpful.
No, I'm going to cut you back because I want you to tell us about it, because people that she's seen it, other people haven't. I've seen it. What is it that she's talking about? Because you guys you got a report about the Black American dollar.
Jewish guy, yeah.
Dollar, and they just quickly tell us that.
Okay, so a Jewish businessman was interviewed many, many years ago, and the first thing he said is that all African American people know about is consumption. So that means spend, spend, spend. And then he went on to say how many times a dollar will get cycled in the Jewish community, the Asian community, and they were like 19 days, 20 days, etc., etc. But in the Black community, that dollar left the community within 6 hours.
That's it.
Yeah. So I think in order for us to keep the money in our community longer, we need a UK version of Tulsa.
Yeah. You better explain Tulsa.
You know about Tulsa, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
Can you explain to us about Tulsa, mate?
But everybody else may know.
So basically, Tulsa in America and Tulsa, they had their own communities. They had everything, all the shops. They had planes. They had churches, taxis, everything you could want. And upon they accused this Black guy of sexually assaulting a white lady, and the police took him in. They burnt the place to the ground. So, and I think we've been scarred from that, and we need another version of that.
But I think it's happening. I think slowly, like having the conversation we're having, like, John, I've known for probably the 20 years. I'm lucky enough to get one of those awards.
I was going to say, a well-deserved recipient. Yeah.
I was very lucky. And I would say he's been saying this for years. And I think that we are slowly getting there. The Black Pound Day, which happened only Saturday gone, proved it. It came up within about 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they flooded social media. The youngsters, like John said, these youngsters are on it, and bam. And I think that that's what's going to happen. We're going to have our Black Wall Street. We are not. What I was trying to explain to white people generally was like, I don't have to hate your culture to love mine. It's cool. We spend in yours, come and spend in ours. We very much like, come and spend.
There's lots of people in the Black Lives Matter protest, white people that are out there protesting with us. So I said, invite them in to spend money with us. And when you're talking about with the customer service, I think if you go into a Black-owned shop and you don't get the customer service, don't just go and say, I'm not shopping Black. Don't go to that shop. Go to the next one.
Yeah.
But that's what I think we've done over the years. It's like, right, because you get a bad experience in that West Indian takeaway, then you say, well, all West Indian takeaways
are the same. And one of the things with one of the takeaways, there's one that's open 24 hours in South London. And now some people would say, oh, the food's not good. Some people say not, but they have customer service. and they're open 24 hours. And so they give you a service. Like, if you think about back in the day, it was only the Asian shop that was open at the corner. Every other shop was closed on a Sunday. So he might have charged you 30 pence more, and you're vexed you had to pay the 30 pence more, but he gave you a service. And you went and got what you had to get, kissing your teeth afterwards, but you went and got what you had to get.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in very quickly with a few words. And I think what's happening is I kind of sense a cultural change.
Yes.
Because when people say Americans spend this and we do it differently and all the rest of it, in some respects, you know, if you look at the history of ancestors or forefathers who came here in the 50s or whatever, a lot of us came to work, and I know my dad worked in a factory, my mum was a nurse. So business wasn't on their mind. Whereas black people in Jamaica, where my parents are from, you know, there is a strong middle class of black people owning businesses. Yeah. So it's the culture of, you know, what you're about, and it's not just the skin. But what in a sense now, the culture is changing, entrepreneurial. People are aware about, you know, how business work. You know, the education of how the black pound stays in the community needs to be spread about and taught to people. So there's a cultural change, and I think that it will be to our benefit and the benefit of our own economy.
I agree. On that note, we're really going to have to leave. So the last thing we have to say is everyone give out, please, very quickly, their social media outlets. Starting with
Alden. I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, so Alden.
Here you go. I can't hear, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to come in with a last thing? Very, very, you have to be very brief.
Okay, what do you want to say? What? About what?
Anything? Oh, okay. I thought you had something to say.
Something. You want to say something?
No. What I wanted to say was this. So I did want to say something. What I want to really say is that this time right now is a definite opportunity. Definite opportunity for businesses out there to really make themselves grow. If you look at something quite simply like retail, now, unfortunately, a lot of retail shops are going to go out of businesses, and the landlords need rent. They need money. They're desperate for money. So basically, there's going to be no covenant. You're going to be able to walk into a business. If you've got good ideas, get 2 or 3 guys together, do a deal with the shop, set yourself up upstairs, maybe set your wholesale or your online upstairs, and then brand the shop and then sell. It's a buyer's market right now. It's buyers for us. They need us a lot now. We can go into place, business unit, and it's a time to strike and get ourselves proper. That's all I want to say.
Well, you can also end up with saying your social media details.
Social media is Alden McCalla, just Alden McCalla Facebook, Alden McCalla Biz, and LinkedIn is just Alden McCalla, just LinkedIn.
Excellent, thank you, Alden. Johnny?
Yeah, just look at UK Unsigned. 20 years, we're all over the place. UK Unsigned, it's up there, yeah? Part of the Cyber Charity Network.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Donna and Shaq, please.
Official Donna Spence at Instagram, and Donna Spence Comedian on Facebook.
Everything is DJ Shaq D, SHAQD, DJ Shaq D.
That's it.
Thank you ever so much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, take care of yourself, and we'll speak soon, no doubt. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
You. Okay, right. We're going to go a bit more entertaining. So I'll see you in a bit.